Imagine, just for a moment, you are standing at the very edge of death. Everything fades into darkness. Silence surrounds you, and it feels like the end. But in the very next second, you open your eyes in a completely different universe. Because consciousness never witnesses its own end. It simply shifts, flowing into the branch where you survive. This is not science fiction, but the haunting possibility suggested by quantum physics.
The quantum world is a realm where the familiar rules of physics begin to collapse, and where probabilities, not certainties, shape the fabric of reality. Subatomic particles do not behave like tiny billiard balls. They exist in multiple states at once, a phenomenon known as superposition. An electron can be here and there simultaneously, and a photon can behave both as a particle and a wave. Quantum mechanics tells us something astonishing. Before you observe a particle, it has no definite position. Reality remains blurred, a cloud of probabilities, until the act of measurement forces it into a single outcome. This is where the idea becomes truly profound. If reality solidifies only when observed, then every observation may cause the universe to branch. Every possibility may unfold, just not in the same world. In one branch, an electron passes on the left, in another, it passes on the right, and in yet another branch, consciousness continues along the path where it remains alive. Quantum physics whispers a haunting possibility. Maybe reality is not a single straight line, but an infinite network of rivers flowing in every direction, and we are simply travelers drifting along one of those currents. One of the most radical interpretations of quantum physics is Hugh Everett's many worlds theory. According to Everett, the universe does not choose a single outcome when a quantum event occurs. Instead, all possible outcomes become real, each one in a different universe. This means the universe is constantly branching. An electron goes left in one world and right in another. At first glance, this idea feels like science fiction, but mathematically, it is surprisingly consistent. What we call reality is merely a thin slice of a much larger cosmic structure, an infinite web of possibilities. But this theory does not only challenge physics, it challenges our understanding of the self. If the universe branches at every possible outcome, then we must branch as well with every choice, every chance event, every moment of uncertainty. A new version of you emerges. In one universe, you step back. In another, you move forward. In some worlds, you survive, and in others, you don't. Which leads to the haunting question: which one is the real you? If infinite versions of you exist, which one is the original? Everett's theory suggests something astonishing. Consciousness always continues along the branch where you remain alive. In a sense, the multiverse does not only rewrite physics, it rewrites the very foundation of human existence. Among all quantum ideas, none is as unsettling or as captivating as the concept of quantum death. This idea begins with a thought experiment known as quantum suicide, proposed by physicist Max Tegmark. At first, it sounds like madness, but its mathematical implications are cold, precise, and deeply disturbing. In the experiment, a person faces a device whose outcome depends entirely on a quantum event. In many universes, the device fires and the person dies. But in some universes, the device does not fire and the person survives. Everett's many worlds theory suggests that consciousness continues only in the branch where survival occurs, which means you never experience your own death. The versions of you that die no longer possess consciousness, but the version that survives continues forward, again and again, into the branches where life persists. To that surviving consciousness, it feels as if death is always avoided at the very last moment. A kind of immortality, yet not a hopeful one, but a lonely, eerie continuation through endless realities. Quantum death is not a promise of eternal life. It is the possibility that you may live on only in the narrow branches where survival barely clings to existence. The idea of quantum death inevitably leads to humanity's oldest question: what is consciousness, and can it truly disappear? From a biological perspective, consciousness is a product of the brain, neurons firing, circuits activating, chemistry in motion. When the brain stops, consciousness ends. But quantum physics challenges this simple, mechanical view. Some theories suggest that consciousness may be too complex to be explained by classical physics alone. Perhaps its roots lie deeper, in the quantum realm itself. The Orc-Ore theory, proposed by Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff, suggests that consciousness emerges from quantum processes within microtubules inside the brain. And if consciousness is truly quantum, then it may follow quantum rules, including one extraordinary rule: quantum information cannot be destroyed. If this is true, then perhaps consciousness does not cease when the body dies. It may simply shift, like a wave collapsing into a new form, a new branch, a new version of reality. This idea is not a promise of eternal life, nor a spiritual claim, but a radical scientific possibility. Consciousness may be the echo of the universe itself, resonating through every branch where it still survives. Quantum death, the multiverse, and the possibility of a quantum mind. Together, they create a single, astonishing picture. The universe is far stranger than anything we imagined. If consciousness survives only along the branches where life continues, then your existence does not end. It merely shifts, again and again, into the versions of reality where survival remains possible. At first, this sounds like immortality, but in truth, it reveals something deeper and far more unsettling. You may continue to live across countless universes, but each version of you is not quite the same. Infinite selves, infinite choices, infinite lives, yet you remain only one point of awareness, drifting along a single thread in an endless cosmic tapestry. So the final question emerges: which one is truly you? Are all versions real? Are none real? Or is reality simply the path your consciousness happens to follow? Quantum physics does not give us the answer, but it offers a haunting possibility. Consciousness may never truly die. It may simply awaken in another universe, again and again, without end.